Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, we're going to be talking about the transit moon conjunct one's natal Neptune. Now, we're talking about transits of the moon. They can involve emotional energy, feeling, our sensitivity, and also nurturing and caring. When you have the transit moon contacting your natal Neptune, it could be a lot of emotional energy, feeling, sensitivity, nurturing. Could be our dreams. If this is in Sagittarius, it might be something, with philosophy or religion, sports, higher education, integration with foreigners in Capricorn, something of a business nature. Could be something with the government or something with political work. Now, this could also, and especially if you have it like in one of what I call the money house, the second, sixth, or 10th house in your chart. Another thing is this could also be about our ideals as well, and really caring for them at this time, and feeling, it's a lot of feeling energy and connection with this. And this is something, I mean, when you're talking about ideals, say you have this in Sagittarius, it could be something of a global nature. It's something with the, even Aquarius, something about just having, like the environment, something more on a global level being where it should be. Um, it could be also, when you're talking about this trans as well, Neptune is about dissolving and dissipation. So we might feel a little bit more sensitive if there's somebody coming out of our life. For example, there's a relationship that is dissolving or dissipating. If you have the second house, it could be something of a monetary nature. I mean, dissolving assets. So I'm being flippant with that, but what I mean is it could actually be where your money situation is gradually dissolving for whatever reason. And remember, the Neptune, right now we're having the transit Neptune in Pisces. Time of this video, transit Neptune is in Pisces. It could also be about sensitivity to like this pandemic. Remember that Neptune is about diseases. Pisces is about ones that can't be eradicated. I think Neptune and Pisces are a very strong culprit in this coronavirus issue, along with the Pluto and Capricorn, because Pluto is connected with viruses. Now, this is also about our fantasies. Neptune can be about our fantasies as well, and we might feel like indulging more in our fantasies more so than usual. Say if you have Neptune in Aquarius, it could be something like with innovation or computers, electronics. Uh, this is also, Neptune is associated with isolation. So this could be a time where you feel like you want to be more alone, more so than usual, and maybe more prone to solitude and seclusion. Now, if this is happening at night, this could be, a time where maybe if you believe in premonitions, maybe something could happen along those lines, because the moon is about the subconscious and unconscious. Neptune is connected with psychic receptivity. You have two planets that are very strongly intuitive, and this is a time where maybe you might feel like you might be forecasting something for future events in your dreams, and wonder if this might actually be something that might come to pass at a later point in time. Now, also too, remember that this is Neptune is about addiction as well. The thing about this is, on the positive end, I mean, this transit, only lasts about 10 hours on average. You're talking about 3 degrees. I'm talking about 3-degree applying conjunction aspect, 2-degree separating conjunction aspect. So that's 5 degrees total, which in the moon moves about, on average, about 1 degree every 2 hours. So you have about a 10-hour transit on average. So it's really not that long. Something that would be more enduring, of course, would be if we had the opposite transit Neptune conjoining one's natal moon, and those effects might be a little bit more prolonged. But anyway, this could be a time where you might feel a little bit more sensitive if you're involved in any kind of addiction at this time. If this was something like in Pisces, it could be something alcohol related. or something with drugs more. It doesn't mean it couldn't mean that if you have Neptune in another sign, but I'm just talking about that as an example. It will be more emphasized, perhaps on average, a greater propensity for that if Neptune is in Pisces, but Neptune by itself is connected with drugs, alcohol, and addictions anyway. Now, it could also be where you might feel a little bit more emotional dealing with something, some tumult or some kind of chaos at this time. If it's in the fourth house, it could be some chaos that is in your life. I mean, in your home or family life, or somebody you're close to home with. This could also be about confusion as well. You might be dealing with the emotions, might be a little bit more chaotic, more so than usual at this time. Remember too that this is also about chemicals as well. Perhaps you might feel more sensitive to some issues regarding anything with chemicals at this time. If there's a something with this where Neptune is also allergies. So if you have some allergy problem, this could be something where you might cause more upsetment at this time. Now also too, anatomically speaking, Neptune is associated with the feet, the toes, body fat, the lymphatic system. So this could be something too, and also the the immune system as well. This could be something too where there might be more sensitivity in those areas at this time to issues associated with any of these things. Body fat. If you're somebody that is overweight, this could be a time if might be more sensitive to criticism and ridicule more so than usual at this time. And it could, if there's any issues with the feet and toes, it might bother you more. You might respond more emotionally this time. Remember, the moon is responsive and reactionary, so it could be about how you're responding more unemotionally, more so than usual at this time. Now, also too, Neptune can be connected with dancing and poetry, so it could be a time where you feel more of an emotional need. You feel more maybe like dancing or doing something with poetry. This is also a time where family may be more prominent, play more of an integral role, perhaps in lethargy, for example, or maybe attaining some kind of dreams or fantasies you have at this time. This is something to where looking at this, say if you have this transit is occurring in your third house, this could manifest in maybe some convoluted short journeys at this time that might cause a little bit more upsetment than more so than usual. It could be something too where you're looking at the moon can be associated with the public as well. So it could be an auspicious period, even though it's not sustained, of course. Auspicious period, perhaps for doing something publicly with filmography or the metaphysical, which includes astrology, something with poetry or illusion. Illusion can be associated on one thing is with being a magician. It could be performing some kind of magic tricks. This could also be a period too because the moon is associated with water retention. Now, if there's anything going on where you're retaining more water than usual at this time or much less, those issues, given that this is it's contacting Neptune, can be maybe nebulous or unclear at this time. And again, the emotional energy can be rather chaotic, to say the absolute least. The feelings you might have on something, you might be somewhat, ambivalent about or indecisive at this time. When this transit occurs also, this could be a time where you may be more inclined toward home, family. It could be daydreaming, meditation, could be spirituality. It could be doing something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Let's say, in things that are connected with unreality, that are about fantasy. Like, say for example, if you have this in Sagittarius and say like in the fifth house, this could be a time with family. You may indulge in some hypothetical, just Neptune in sports, which is Sagittarius, and it could be, of course, a game being in the fifth house. Hold on a moment, people. Anyway, this could also be a time to keep in mind the moon is about nostalgia. It's nostalgic and memories as well. So this could be a time where you may be a little bit more nostalgic about things that were maybe inspirational to you in the past. It could have been, say, if it's in Capricorn, it could have been about something that inspired you to attain a greater stature in life, reaching some kind of career ambitions. This could also having more discipline in one's life. Emotions at this time. Remember, the moon is about our emotions, and the emotions may cloud the judgment more so than usual, and in Neptune related matters, since of course the transit moon is contacting Neptune. So it could be about issues connected with self-sacrificing for somebody or helping out some people less fortunate, such as the oppressed, the hungry, the homeless, impoverished, or even people that might be imprisoned. It could have been somebody that was a prisoner and it is out on some kind of bond or bail, and you might be having some time. You might feel emotionally, you want to help, but you have to, but it's a time where you need to really make sure you're judicious regarding those matters, because when you're talking about things of an emotional nature, it can cloud one's judgment. Now, another way this can manifest as well, remember that the moon in astrology is associated with the stomach, the chest, breast area, the left or the right eye, depending on gender. So the fact these could be issues that could be somewhat unclear or nebulous. It could be a little, maybe some minor, blurred vision at this time, when you feel like your vision's a little bit more blurred than usual, or you might be in a situation, where you have to go outside for whatever reason, and the area for whatever reason is a little bit more foggy than it usually is. I mean, this could be also because, remember, it's affecting, the moon is connected with the left or the right eye, depending on gender. And if there's any issues like with the stomach or the chest or breast area, those may be somewhat nebulous and unclear at this time as well. And in some cases, it could be alcohol or something that might be affecting your stomach more so than usual if you're somebody that does drink. So those are or even drugs in some cases. Maybe there's something with that could be affecting the that area if that is something you do. And I know that's very isolated because I know a lot of people don't do recreational drugs. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay up.